Welcome to a special edition of the Blaze of Sports Report. I'm your host, Larry Jenkins. Today we're going to discuss UFC 135. We're going to mainly discuss the main event between Rampage Jackson and Jon Bones Jones. Today I have two special guests with me, Andrew Vandergrift here on my left, Bryan here on my right. Both of these guys are very knowledgeable in the world of MMA, so first I'm going to turn to you, Josh. Tell me your predictions on the main event and how do you think it's going to end up?
Well, I think Jon Jones is going to beat Rampage in the second round by submission. The reason why I think this is because Jon Jones is the overall more well-rounded fighter. I'm going to start with the wrestling. Wrestling, they're pretty equal. Except for Rampage doesn't use his wrestling as much as he used to. Back in the Pride days, he used to slam people, ground and pound. That was his primary style. But since he's gone on to the UFC, he's become primarily a boxer. Which is not saying he's not a good boxer because he has knockout power in both left and right hand. But when it comes to wrestling, I think Jon Jones is going to have the advantage. Submissions, of course, go to Jon Bones Jones. I don't ever think I ever saw Rampage pull off a submission in his career, or even attempted one for that fact. And stand-up, I give it to Jones because of the reach and the more versatility of striking. But we will see one thing in this fight. Jon Jones will get hit, and he will get hit hard. That's pretty much the only chance Rampage Jackson has is to knock him out. But we do not know how good Jon Jones' chin is.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. Since you bring up the aspect of Jon Bones' chin, I'm going to turn this one over to you. We know that Jon Jones hasn't been in a ring with a caliber of terms of raw power that Rampage Jackson possesses. So do you think if Rampage can't get that good hit in, do you think it will literally level Jon Jones to the point of being knocked out?
Absolutely. I mean, when you take a fighter that hasn't been up against someone with Rampage's power, I mean, Rampage has knocked out Chuck Liddell. Everyone knows Chuck Liddell, reigning light heavyweight champion, knocking out everyone in his division for how long. He's got records in the UFC history books, and Rampage able to take out someone like that. He's obviously got some serious power. Just touch him once across that jaw on that button, out for sure.
Now, do you think that that will be the outcome? Though? Do you see Rampage actually able to pull that off, or are you seeing Jon Jones getting upper hand?
I feel like Jon Bones Jones, he's quick. He can get in there. Obviously, he has such a creative way of fighting, the way he puts his moves together. You see spinning back elbows, and just, the creativeness is intimidating itself. But just the fact that he can do things like that goes to show he can get hit. He's putting himself out there like that. He hasn't really been hit much, but he's putting himself ready to where, just like Chuck Liddell did, just try to set up with that overhand right and looped in and whap right across that jaw, and he was out.
Alright, now so for your pick on who's going to win the fight, who are you picking?
I'm still have to go with Jon Bones Jones, merely for the fact that he's such an athlete. His wrestling is incredible. You're not going to out-wrestle him. I don't see that happening one bit. And I think the fight's going to stay standing up just because both of them like to stand up and bang. They both strike. I just think it's going to come down to who gets that punch.
Now, I'm going to go back to you on this. You brought up the wrestling of Rampage and how he doesn't use it anymore. But we know that he can't get taken down. There was evidence in Rashad Evans' fight. Now, if you think Jon Jones is able to take Rampage to the ground, do you think his defense will be able to help him out on the ground, or do you think Jon Jones' overall skill level will be too much for him to handle?
Rampage on his back is bad for Rampage. He has no jiu-jitsu to speak of. Getting back up, like I say, he hasn't used his wrestling in a while. He couldn't get back up against Rashad Evans. So I think if Jon Jones does get him down, he will be able to keep him down, pass his guard, and pretty much do whatever he wants. He could crack him open with elbows like he did Matt Hamill and Brandon Vera, or he can submit him like he did Ryan Baylor. Pretty much Rampage needs to keep this fight off the ground. Even if he ends up on top, I think Jon Jones, coming from the Greg Jackson camp, he should be prepared to be on his back like most of his other fighters, but I think even if Rampage gets on top, he needs to stand right back up and probably close the distance. Get him up against the cage, close the distance, and just throw bombs all day.
Okay. Now, me personally, I'm going to pick Rampage in this fight for one simple reason. Like you both have documented, no one has ever really contacted on that chin that John Jones has. I think that if Rampage is able to sneak one in, we all know the unpredictability of the UFC as it stands.